Morning, children.
Good morning, teacher.
Very good morning, beta.
Good morning.
Very good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning.
I am fine, ma'am.
You are fine. Very good. Did you prepare yesterday's topic? What we discussed? Block 2. Yesterday we completed block 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Reading part is over. Okay. So today we are going to start our block 3. So that is cultivating crops. Cultivating crops. So our India is second largest populous country. Our India is second largest populous country in the world. So from where we are getting food for these many? We are in lakhs. So how we are getting the food? From where we are getting? How who are cultivating the crops? How they are cultivating? So daily we are taking our food, different kinds of food we are taking, different varieties of food we are eating. So from where we are getting all these food items? Who are cultivating these? What are the stages? How we will get all these? So we are going to discuss in this class. We are going to discuss about the stages, how the cultivation occurs, what are the stages, and afterwards what are the crops grown, and in which season what types of crops grown. All those we will discuss in this chapter. So first of all, we have to know how the farmers are cultivating. So what is a crop? So how we are getting the food materials for these many members or population. Ours is a populous country. That means the population, density of population is very high in our India. So how we are getting the food, different varieties. So what is a crop? Crop is nothing but if we grow the plants, or if we grow or cultivate plants at one place on large scale. If we grow the same kind of plants and cultivate at one place on a large scale. On a large scale means ఎక్కువ మొత్తంలో ఎక్కువగా. So if we are growing plants like the roses or whatever it may go, the pennies, we are growing in a small amount. But what is a crop? Why you are using the if the paddy field or the cereals or the pulses? So these we used the word for the crop. For the cultivation of the pulses or the cereals, we use the word crop. Why you are using the word crop? Crop means what? So crop is nothing but the plants grown and cultivated at one place on the large scale. So on the same place on the large scale, if we cultivate the plants, so in the acres, so in 4 acres, 5 acres, or 1 acre, so in the acres of land, on the acres of land, if we cultivate the crops, if we cultivate the plants, so such process, that fields are called as crops. So what is a crop? If plants grown and cultivating, cultivate at same place, at one place, at So all these cereals, pulses, vegetables, all comes under the crops. So we are cultivating on large scale at one place. So what are the different stages involved in the cultivation of a particular crop? What we generally follow? What are the stages? So how we are getting the food materials? So all those we are going to discuss in this class. So first of all, we will discuss about what are the stages involved in the cultivation of crops. So the stages like first ploughing. Ploughing in the first stage. Ploughing is the first stage of cultivation. So what is ploughing? What is the need of ploughing? Before sowing a seed, why a farmer has to plough the field? So what is the importance of ploughing? Why it is needed? Ploughing is nothing but in Telugu it is called as dunnadam. So ploughing, if the field is tilled, ploughing or tilling. So if the field is ploughed before sowing a seed, what ploughing is doing is by ploughing the soil loosens. By ploughing the soil loosens and it allows the seed to get the right amount of air. Right amount of air and water for the germination of a seed. If the soil is very tight, without ploughing, if we sow the seeds, there is a less possibility of germination of total seeds whatever we sow. So the possibility of if we plough the field and if we germinate, if we place plant the seeds, there is the more 100% possibility of germination of seeds. So before sowing seeds, the first stage of cultivation is the first stage is ploughing. So by ploughing, the soil loosens. The soil loosens and it will allow the seed right amount of air. So with that, the seed will germinate. Maximum amount of seeds will germinate before the sowing if we plough the field. So farmers, before they will prepare the fields before sowing the seeds. So first stage they follow the ploughing. So in the cultivation of crops, the first stage is ploughing. Did you get it? So what is why the farmer has to till the field means tilling or ploughing, both are same, tilling or ploughing. So in ploughing what happened to the field means the soil loosens and it allow the right amount of air to the seeds. So with that the seeds will germinate easily. So and it will get the water easily. The seeds will get the water and air easily if the soil is loosened. So loosening process of soil is called ploughing or tilling. Is it clear for you? What is ploughing? Children, please respond. Is it clear for you what is ploughing?
Clear, ma'am.
Very good. Ploughing is nothing but loosening the soil.
Clear, ma'am.
Fields.
Clear, ma'am.
If the soil loosens after sowing the seeds, the seed will get the right amount of air and water. So the loosening of soil is called ploughing. It is the first stage of cultivation of crops. Okay? So next after ploughing, the second stage is sowing. So sowing. What is sowing? Sowing is nothing but after the preparation of field by ploughing process, the field is ready for the next methods. The first method is ploughing. The farmer ploughs the field. It prepares the field for sowing. So what is sowing? Planting of seed or seedling. planting of seeds or seedlings. In sometimes the farmer will sow the seeds. Sometimes the farmer will prepare the seedlings and he will throw the seedlings on the field. So the seedlings will grow into the seeds. So in case of paddy and in case of chilies, like that the seedlings are sown. So because of that what we are sowing is nothing but the planting of seeds or seedlings is called sowing. So after the sowing is done by using manually or by machines, modern machines, or the traditional methods like funnels. So for the plow in traditional means long before, the funnel is garad, in Telugu it is called as garad. The funnel is attached to the plow of a farmer. So the farmer places the seeds into the funnel. While the plow is moving, so along with that plow the seeds are sown in the fields. So that is the traditional method. So traditional method is nothing but what we are practicing from long before. So పాతకాలం నుంచి అలవాటై వచ్చిన మెథడ్ ని ట్రెడిషనల్ మెథడ్ అంటారు. So what we are practicing long before, such methods are called traditional methods. So the seeds are sown by using traditional method like the funnels, or nowadays the modern machines are there in our markets. So the farmers following the traditional methods also. If they are cultivating crops on large scale, so they are following the modern machines. Or 1 acre, half acre, or 2 acres, the farmers are cultivating, they are following the traditional methods. So there is two types of methods, sowing by manually also the farmers are sowing the seeds, and the traditional methods also they are following, and the modern machines also they are following. They are using modern machines to sow for the sowing of seeds. So is it clear for you what is sowing, children? Planting of seeds or seedlings is called sowing. Is it clear for you?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So
Yes, ma'am.
method is ploughing. First stage is ploughing. Second stage is sowing. Sowing is nothing but, ploughing is nothing but loosening the soil. Sowing is nothing but planting the seeds or seedlings. So that is, there are traditional methods are there, modern machines are there, and by manually also the farmers are sowing the seeds. Next comes to the third stage, manuring. Third stage is manuring. So what is manuring? What is a manure? Why the word? What is the meaning of manure? Manuring is nothing but adding fertilizers. So manuring is nothing but adding fertilizers. After sowing seed, so after the germination of seeds, the plant requires more and more nutrients. So the cultivation, if we cultivate the crop on large scale on the same piece of land, so going on repeatedly, if we cultivate the crop, the soil loses its nutrients. Whatever with the crop we grown, the crop absorbs the nutrients which are present in the soil. So if we going on cultivating the crops, the soil loses its fertility and also it loses its nutrients, So there is a need to add manure. We have to add nutrients to the soil. Then only the crop will get the right amount of nutrients. So the adding of nutrients, the adding of fertilizers, they may be chemical fertilizers or organic fertilizers. The adding of fertilizers is called manuring. So manure is a organic fertilizer. Manure an organic fertilizer. So how we get this manure means the manure is the how the dead bodies of plants and animal excreta. The dead bodies of plants, the dead plant bodies and the animal excreta combinedly. So we get the manure. It is very rich in nutrients. So what we get from this manure means NPK. From this manure, NPK. What is N? What is P? What is K? These are the very very important nutrients which required for the crop. Crop requires these three fertilizers, nutrients. They are the nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, NPK. So naturally, the crops will get the NPK from the manure. So what is manure? The dead plant bodies and animal excreta combinedly it forms the manure. It is very rich in nutrients. The manure is very rich in nutrients like NPK. So chemical fertilizers also we are adding, but it's a effect for the soil. If we add the manure, manure is the natural fertilizer, organic fertilizer. Manure is nothing but a natural fertilizer, organic fertilizer from the dead plant bodies and the animal excreta. We get the natural manure. So what type of nutrients we get from the manure means NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potash. So these three nutrients. So the manure is a organic fertilizer. It is a natural fertilizer. So from that fertilizer we get the NPK. So if we add the fertilizers, if we add the manure, the plants will get the rich amount of nutrients and the soil increases the its fertility. Soil fertility also increases by adding the manure, and by the same time the plants whatever the important nutrients they require they get from the manure. So it is very very important stage after sowing the seeds. The farmers add the manure or fertilizers to the crops. So with that, so I think it is clear for you the stage manuring. What is manuring and why it is important for the crops? Is it clear for you children? What is manuring and what is manure? Why we have to add this? Is it clear for you? Okay. So this is the third stage of cultivation. First stage is ploughing. Ploughing is nothing but loosening the soil. Second stage is sowing. Sowing is nothing but planting plant seeds or seedlings. And third stage manuring. So in manuring, what will happen? What is manure? Why we have to add the manures means manuring is nothing but adding fertilizers to the crop. Adding fertilizers to the crop. So manure is a natural fertilizer. From that natural fertilizer, the plants, the crops get the NPK. These are the important nutrients which crops require. N means nitrogen, P means phosphorus, K means potash. So manure is the dead plant bodies and the combination of dead plant bodies and animal excreta. So the combination of dead plant bodies and animal excreta it forms a good fertilizer. So that fertilizer, that not the natural fertilizer it is, and it is also called as organic fertilizer. It is very rich in nutrients. So what is the need of adding these nutrients? Why we have to add means, so going on cultivating of crops on same piece of land, it loses its nutrients, it loses the soil, loses its fertility. So to improve the fertility of the soil, to make the soil rich in nutrients, so we are adding the manure. So by adding manure only, the soil overcomes the soil replenish the nutrients. Again, it will get the nutrients. Replenish means again it will by adding additionally. So again it will get the nutrients. It will overcome the problem of the what it loses nutrients. So going on cultivating the crop, it loses the fertility. If we add the manure, it replenishes. It replenishes means again the soil will get the nutrients. From the soil again the plant what it requires the NPK and other nutrients the plants will get. So because of that reason, for every time to time the farmer is adding. So the farmers they have to add more and more organic fertilizers only. If we add the more chemical fertilizers again, the soil loses its fertility. So we will discuss that topic in later classes. But here adding manure is nothing but adding fertilizers. So what is the use of adding fertilizers means the soil replenishes its nutrients what it loses, and it also gets the soil fertility increases by adding manure. The fertility of soil increases and the plants get the right amount of nutrients. Is it clear for you, children? What is manuring and what is manure is clear for you?
Ma'am, board is not clearly, ma'am.
Board is not clear.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is manuring? Did you got it? Understand, beta?
Yeah, ma'am.
Body is not clear.
Board is
Yes, ma'am.
Organic fertilization. Inorganic specialist.
organic matter. Manure is nothing but a organic matter or a natural. We also call it as natural fertilizer. So by nature itself, it is forming plants, the dead bodies of plants and animal excreta. Animal excreta we are not preparing. So animals whatever they from animals what the excreta we are getting. So placing at one place the dead plant bodies and animal excreta. After some time it changes into a good nutrient. We will get the rich nutritive substance that is nothing but manure. It is a natural fertilizer. The manure is a natural fertilizer. So we are not at all adding any chemicals to that substance. So it is purely organic. It is purely organic. So it is rich in nutrients. What are the nutrients present in a natural fertilizer? NPK, the nitrogen, phosphorus and the potash. These are the three nutrients and some other nutrients also present. So they are rich in the manure. So because of that reason, the manuring the crop is very important. Time to time the farmer has to add the manures. So next stage. What is the fourth stage? After manuring, irrigation. Irrigation. What is the meaning of irrigation? What is meant by irrigation? Irrigation is nothing but simply watering the crops. At our homes, generally in the morning and afternoon, we used to water the plants. What we are growing in our garden. So here for the crop also it requires the water. So watering of crops is called irrigation. Irrigation, the fourth stage of cultivation of crops is irrigation. Irrigation is nothing but simply watering the plants, watering the crops. So when we have to add the water water the crops, in which season we have to water the crops. So all these depends upon the time to time when we have to irrigate the crops is depend upon the variety of crops and soil nature and the season. So in rainy season, the farmer needs to irrigate very less. In winter and summer season, the farmer needs to irrigate more times. So and also it depends upon the variety of crop which we are growing. So sugarcane requires the more and more water. When it comes to maize, jowar, so and the groundnut, these requires less amount of water. So like that, the crops which we are cultivating and the soil type and the clay soil it requires less water and the red soil it requires less water. Soily and which requires more sandy soil it requires the more amount of water. Like that, the irrigating the crops is depend upon the type of crop which we are cultivating and the season in which season we are cultivating and also the variety of crop which crop we are cultivating and the type of soil in which type of soil we are cultivating. So irrigation is depend upon the three conditions: the type of crop, soil type, and also the season. In which season we are cultivating, what type of crop we are cultivating, and which variety of crop we are cultivating. Irrigation is depend upon these three things. So based on that, the farmer used to irrigate the crop. So what is the need of irrigation means the by time to time watering the crops, they grow well and we will get the more and more yield. The farmer, the how by adding the manure, the crop will use the soil will get the nutrients. So same way the watering also an important stage. By time to time watering only, they get more flowering and also the yield is more. We get the more yield. So all the seeds they get seeds in that. Otherwise the seeds will chaff. They become the chaff. So with that there is a loss of yield. So watering the crop is very important stage. So what are the sources of irrigation for the crops? What are the different sources means wells, bore wells and also canals, tanks. Tanks are nothing but in Telugu చెరువులు. Canals, tanks, ponds, dams, check dams, all these are the different sources of irrigation. From wells they will get the water, from tube wells they will get the water, from bore wells the crops get the water according to the place where they are cultivating, according to the region where they are cultivating. In some places dams, check dams are available. For some places there only the farmer has to depend upon only the wells or bore wells. In some places canals provide the water for cultivation. In some places ponds are nothing but in Telugu it is kuntalu and tanks means చెరువులు. Ponds means kuntalu. What is the difference between pond and a tank means the tank is big when compared to the pond. Pond is a small in size, tank is big in size. So both is the storage of water. Only the pond stores the water, the tank stores the water. But in size the ponds are the less in size area, they cover the less area of storage of water. The tanks they cover the larger area for the storage of water. So ponds are also the source of water for irrigation. Tanks, canals, in some places having canals. Canals provide the water. Now KHAMMAM NSP Nagarjuna Sagar canal is flowing. means for the crops means there are different sources. So rain is the main source of water. So in Kharif season, the rain water is enough for the cultivation for some crops, and in some, if in time the rains occur in rainy season, so by using rains only the farmers cultivate some varieties of crops. So other sources, what are the sources means the wells, bore wells, canals, tanks, ponds, tube wells, dams, check dams. All these are the different sources of irrigation. So up to some more. So stages also there. Up to this clear for you, beta. What is the first stage of cultivation of a crop? What is the first stage of cultivation of crop? That is the ploughing. What is ploughing? Ploughing is nothing but ploughing or tilling. Tilling also the same meaning of ploughing. Ploughing or tilling is nothing but loosening the soil. So before sowing seeds, if we plow that, we loosen the soil allows the air and water. So with that, the seeds easily they will germinate. The seeds will germinate easily, and 100% means almost all the seeds will germinate if we loosen the soil. So the ploughing is nothing but loosening the soil. Before sowing, if we loosen the soil, the seed will get the right amount of air and water. So that is ploughing. Is it clear for you? Next stage is sowing. Sowing is nothing but the planting of seeds or seedlings. The planting of seeds or seedlings is called sowing. It may be manually, it may be done manually, or by practicing by traditional methods also it will be done, or by using the modern machines also. The farmers are following different types of sowing methods. Modern machines and traditional methods are by